A light mist draped the sheer rock faces of the Colorado mountains as Eva Sinclair closed the wooden cabin door behind her, her steps hesitant yet resolute. She carried a worn suitcase brimming with books and overflowing with hope for a different future, a future in the glittering city of New York. Her heart pounded with excitement and anxiety. Her mother, Margaret Sinclair, stood on the porch, eyes misty. "You must study hard, Eva. New York won't be easy," she said in her warm, low voice. "I don't expect you to become a CEO. I only want you to live well and be knowledgeable." Eva nodded softly. "I will, Mom." She hugged her mother tightly, then turned and made her way down the path to the bus stop. Each step carried her farther from a humble, love-filled childhood. 9 hours later, the bus wheels rolled into the bright lights of Manhattan. Eva barely had time to gape before she was swept into the hurried crowds, shiny leather shoes, tailored suits, taxi horns. The city's grandeur and chill pressed in, and Eva swallowed back tears. That evening she arrived at Columbia University's dormitory, her new home as an MBA candidate in financial management. Her room was just 2 square meters, white walls and a small window overlooking streetlights, but to Eva it was a kingdom where she would make her dreams real. On Monday morning, in the vast lecture hall, Eva sat straight, taking notes furiously. Though everything felt new, she absorbed concepts from cash flow forecasting to risk analysis. Yet what captivated her most was not the slide deck but the gaze of a special guest. He appeared in the VIP section, tall, in a perfectly tailored navy suit. Through the speakers came his name, Sebastian Caldwell, CEO of Caldwell & Partners, here to speak on global investment trends. His deep, measured voice held the room spellbound. When he queried diversification strategies, Eva seized her moment. Hand trembling, she asked, "Mr. Caldwell, how do you balance short-term profits with long-term sustainability when markets swing wildly?" Sebastian paused, arching an eyebrow. After a thoughtful beat, he smiled. "An incisive question. The secret is..." Applause followed as he steered the discussion. For the first time in her life, Eva realized her dream wasn't so distant. She had entered the world of the elite, and upon meeting Sebastian Caldwell, her heart knew it would never look back. The following afternoon carried the mellow gold of early autumn. Eva packed her files and hurried to the Caldwell & Partners conference room. Sebastian had invited her to discuss the Startup Accelerator program for outstanding students. Manhattan's bustle seemed to slow for her racing heart. This was Eva's first proper meeting at a world-leading firm. The frosted glass boardroom overlooked the city below. A long table bore laptops, reports, and a vase of pure white baby's breath. Sebastian stood already in his dark navy suit, his expression serious yet softening when he saw Eva. He gestured to the seat opposite him. "Eva," he began, voice calm and precise, "I've reviewed your startup proposal. I'm impressed by your idea to apply AI to optimize supply chains for small farms." Eva drew a deep breath. "Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. I believe technology can bridge the gap between remote mountain farms and global markets. That dream came with me from Colorado." He nodded, eyes tracking her words. "To realize it, we need 3 things: quality data, advanced machine learning models, and suitable funding. How do you plan to gather data from distant farms?" Eva opened her laptop and displayed an interactive map. "I propose partnering with the local Farmers Association, deploying IoT sensors to collect soil moisture, temperature, and yield data. Then we use machine learning to forecast harvests and optimize distribution." Sebastian smiled, nodding enthusiastically. "Well structured? I'll connect you to our R&D team and introduce you to the Hartley Foundation's seed fund. You'll also need a technical co-founder." Eva's chest tightened. She had no team and time was short. Yet Sebastian's encouraging gaze sparked her courage. Could you introduce me to Stanford AI Lab? I'd welcome any connection. He jotted a note. I'll introduce you to Dr. Maya Lin, head of our AI group. They have a similar platform, just lacking agricultural data. And I'll ask our lawyer, Grant, to draft the cooperation agreement. In that instant, Eva felt herself grow beyond the girl from the mountains. With a world-renowned tycoon by her side, she was no longer small. The meeting ended with Sebastian's warm words, "Well done, Eva. I hope this collaboration breakthroughs." Stepping out, Eva inhaled New York's crisp air. Every skyscraper seemed to affirm she was on the right path. But upstairs, Sebastian watched her leave through the glass wall, recalling the spark in her eyes, and knowing he faced tradition's weight if he truly chose her. That evening at a nearby cafe, Eva sipped a matcha latte alone. An email invitation from Dr. Lin glowed on her screen, 2 p.m. Thursday, meeting at Caldwell Lab. She smiled as her hand trembled, marking it in her journal. Her phone chimed twice, one from her mother, "Hope you're well. Take care!" and one from her classmate Jose, "Congrats on this morning's meeting. Want to celebrate?" Eva deleted them swiftly, heart pounding. She whispered to herself, "Stay strong. This is only the beginning." In that quiet moment, Eva knew this fateful meeting had opened not just career doors but the doorway to her heart. She was ready to face every challenge, and to let her heart break and heal alongside Sebastian in the chapters ahead. A glass elevator carried Eva to the 27th floor of the Caldwell and Partners Tower, the home of the cutting-edge Caldwell Lab. Rows of servers blinked behind steel cages, and touchscreen panels glowed. No longer in a university classroom or austere dorm, Eva had entered a world-class tech enclave. "Welcome, Eva," greeted Dr. Maya Lin, a petite Asian woman in a white lab coat, smartwatch glinting on her wrist. "Sebastian's praised you highly. Come in and meet the team." Inside the meeting room, 4 engineers and 2 data scientists waved her in front of a large screen. Josh Carter, an IoT engineer with bushy brows and a wry humor, called out, "Miss Sinclair, good to see you. Our sensors ran smoothly overnight, just needs firmware tweaks." Priya Sharma, data analysis whiz, asked eagerly, "Do you have your initial data quality report? We need to check signal variance from Colorado's highlands." David Lee, ML developer, interjected, "Are you leaning toward XGBoost or a neural network for the model?" Eva inhaled and smiled confidently. "I'll discuss modeling choices in a moment. First, let's review the trial results." Maya nodded. "Lead the discussion." Eva connected her laptop and projected 48-hour trial data from 2 prototype farms, Pilgrim Ridge and Aspen Valley, humidity, temperature, yield. The signals were impressively clean, with errors under 5%. "These are the first 48-hour results," Eva explained. "My linear regression model forecasts yield with 92% accuracy. But in storm seasons, we need to bolster model robustness and integrate weather variables." Josh chimed in, "I can add pressure and wind sensors. We'll upgrade firmware over the weekend." Priya praised, "Have you tapped NOAA's weather API? They offer free academic access." Eva beamed, "Already integrated it, just testing response times. If reliable, we'll combine it in production." The room buzzed with collaboration. Sebastian entered, coffee in hand, watching Eva's presentation with a proud smile. "Promising results," he declared. "I'll allocate extra budget to pilot 3 more farms, including Green Brook Farm." Maya applauded. "Eva, prepare a detailed proposal, deadline Monday." Eva accepted the charge, mapping out data collection, model tuning, and expanded pilots. As most team members filtered out, only Eva, Maya, and Sebastian remained, when Marcus Fields, A resentful engineer approached with a sneer. Ms. Sinclair, your plan sounds good, but I guarantee adding the NOAA API doubles latency. You should stick to offline models. Eva replied politely, thanks, Marcus. Latency is manageable with 10-minute buffering, well within our threshold. Marcus smirked, if you say so. See you at the demo. Maya glanced at Sebastian. He seems hostile. Sebastian offered a reassuring smile. Challenge makes us better. Eva, don't worry, I've got your back. Eva felt warmth flood her chest. In this high-pressure arena, she wasn't alone. Sebastian was beside her, ready to defend and collaborate. Exiting the lab, they paused on a glass corridor overlooking the city. Sebastian placed a hand on her shoulder. You did great. The demo will shine. Eva looked up, heart fluttering. Without you, I couldn't have stood before the team. He leaned down, voice soft, you were already strong. I only reminded you. Their eyes locked in shared rhythm, his coffee-scented warmth mingling with her mint-fresh resolve, before Marcus's voice rang out down the hall, Mr. Caldwell, contract questions. Sebastian turned and strode off with Marcus, leaving Eva to breathe deeply. She had just conquered a pivotal milestone, and won Sebastian's respect as both an intellectual partner and someone who understood her heart. Late afternoon sun slanted through the glass suite at Hartley International's headquarters, where Sebastian sat across from his father, Henry Hartley, powerful, silver-haired, eyes cold. Before them lay thick dossiers on potential co-founders for the AgriTech accelerator. One dossier made Henry frown, details on Eva Sinclair, a mere mountain town student whose grades and project pedigree fell short of the blue blood lineage he desired. Sebastian, Henry said, tapping the glass table, we discussed this. You need a partner, I don't oppose that. But you know Hartley's standard, our collaborators must have the right background for reputation. Eva Sinclair, just some farm girl, can she handle international partnerships? Sebastian closed his eyes, keeping calm. Father, Eva is more than a farm girl. She delivered a 92% accurate demo. She's intelligent, dedicated, and visionary. If you looked at her abilities, you'd see she matches any elite family. Henry's frown deepened. Potential isn't enough. I need certainty. What if the press digs into her origins? What do you think they'll say? Sebastian raised his head, eyes flaming. If we let old prejudices blind us to this revolution, Hartley falls behind. The world's changing, Father. Value comes from skill and passion, not pedigree. You taught me that. Silence followed, broken only by distant footsteps. Finally Henry sighed, torn between admiration and doubt. I understand your point, but I need time. Continue working with her, but keep things discreet for now. I don't want the media knowing too soon. Sebastian nodded. Understood, Father. Once the door closed, Sebastian drew a deep breath. Joy and worry warred in his chest. He dialed Eva immediately. Eva, could you come to Glass Suite? I need to talk privately. Within minutes, Eva entered his office, uneasy, curious. What's up, Sebastian? She asked, taking the chair across from him. He forced a smile, though it wavered. You heard about the family meeting? Eva's brow furrowed. Your family meeting? You mean your father? A hollow pang hit her. She had always expected Sebastian to protect her. Sebastian nodded, fingers tracing the table's edge. He has concerns about your background. He wants me to reconsider making this public. Eva's hopes crumbled. She bit her lip, eyes dimming. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Sebastian looked down. I'm sorry, Eva. I feared hurting you. Father's old-fashioned, and I didn't want to add to your burdens. She tilted her head, voice quavering. I thought I was your equal partner. I don't want to be a project kept in drawers or a secret. Her words cut through him. Eva, you're never an afterthought. I respect and cherish you more than anything. I hate that I made you feel this way. I'll fight until he sees your worth, just as I do. Eva watched their hands on the table, eyes bright with tears. She drew strength. If we fight together, I'm in. I want to be Eva Sinclair, the mountain girl with a tech dream, not a shadow behind you. Sebastian's relief bloomed into a tender smile. You're the reason I keep going. Together, nothing can stop us. That night, Eva returned to her dorm, heart full of resolve and love. Across town, in the Hartley mansion, Henry Caldwell sat alone in his study staring at an old photograph of young Sebastian at a Youth Innovation Award ceremony. He whispered into the quiet, "My son. You make me proud, and you've made me change." Outside, New York pulsed with life, a reminder that nothing, neither city nor heart, ever stands still. Monday morning dawned in the Grand Hartley Foundation Hall, where dozens of reporters, venture capitalists, and grant representatives had gathered. On stage, a banner proclaimed AgriTech Accelerator with the slogan "Technology for Sustainable Farms." Eva stood backstage, heart pounding. Today was her and Sebastian's first public appearance as co-founders, and the project's initial funding hinged on this moment. The pressure to maintain composure under dozens of flashing cameras made her throat tighten. Sebastian appeared beside her, adjusting his tie and offering a reassuring smile. "You've practiced this so well. Everything will go smoothly." Eva forced a smile. "You were the one getting interviewed afterward, you matter just as much." He took her hand firmly. "We're a team. I'm right here." The MC's voice boomed through the hall. "Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly introduce AgriTech Accelerator, a collaboration between the Hartley Foundation and the AI-driven agricultural startup co-founded by Ms. Eva Sinclair and Mr. Sebastian Caldwell. Please welcome our speakers." Applause filled the room as Eva and Sebastian stepped onto the stage hand in hand. Reporters' flashes erupted around them. Eva inhaled deeply, glanced at Sebastian's encouraging nod, and took the microphone. "Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. Good morning, everyone. Our project began with 2 Colorado farms, where we achieved 92% predictive accuracy of crop yields. Today, we'll present our expanded trials at 3 additional farms, Greenbrook Farm, Sunridge Acres, and Meadowview Organic. Eva clicked her remote. Behind her, charts compared predicted versus actual yields over 14 days. Blue lines, predictions, and gray lines, reality, ran nearly parallel. Thanks to IoT sensors and continuously trained machine learning models, our system helped farmers optimize fertilizer use, reducing input costs by 15% and increasing yields by 8%. Below the stage, investors whispered excitedly. A female reporter murmured, "I've never seen such high-tech integration in agriculture succeed so seamlessly." But not everything was smooth. A fund representative stood and challenged Eva. "Ms. Sinclair, your data is impressive. But how does your AI adapt to extreme weather, floods or droughts? Is it truly flexible?" Without hesitation, Eva replied, "Thank you for that question. We've integrated an early warning module using NOAA satellite data, paired with nimble learning algorithms. When severe conditions are detected, our system sends immediate alerts to farmers' smartphones with recommended adjustments." Another agriculture expert asked, "What about costs? Can small-scale farmers afford sensors and software?" Sebastian jumped in, "We offer a subscription model, farmers pay per season, spreading out expenses. We're also securing social impact grants to subsidize fees for low-income farms." After an hour of presentation and Q&A, the MC invited them off stage while judges conferred. Eva's legs felt like jelly, her heartbeat thundered in her ears. Sebastian squeezed her shoulder, radiating calm. 10 minutes later, Vivian Hartley, Henry's sister and the judging chair, returned to the podium. Her gentle yet authoritative voice carried across the hall. "We are deeply impressed by your vision and execution. The Hartley Foundation will award Phase 1 funding of $2 million, along with media and global network support." Cheers and applause erupted. Tears glistened in Eva's eyes as Sebastian swept her into a congratulatory embrace. "We did it, Eva." She smiled against his chest, comforted by his warmth amid the media storm. On a mild weekend day, Eva and Sebastian left New York at dawn, flying to Denver before driving along the interstate toward Crestwood, a small mountain town at Colorado's foothills where Eva was born and raised. Familiar sights, telephone poles, whispering pines, stirred a whirl of anticipation and nerves in Eva's chest. She was eager to see her mother again, yet anxious how she'd receive the billionaire boyfriend. Their car stopped before the modest wooden house perched on the hillside. Margaret Sinclair waited on the front steps, silver hair loose over her shoulders. Seeing Eva emerge, she hurried down and embraced her daughter, the warm scent of straw and wood smoke carrying them back to Eva's childhood. "My girl. I thought you'd never come home again." Margaret's voice trembled as she clutched Eva's shoulders. Tears pricked Eva's eyes. "I missed you so much, Mom." Sebastian stepped from the car, suit slightly rumpled, and bowed respectfully. "Mrs. Sinclair, I'm Sebastian Caldwell, Eva's partner. And her boyfriend. It's a pleasure to meet you." Margaret studied him a moment, the fine suit, the calm confidence, then offered a cautious nod. "Hello. All I want is my daughter's happiness. Tell me more about yourselves." At the long farmhouse table draped in a checkered cloth, they shared hot squash soup, toasted bread, and sautéed greens. Eva recounted their AgriTech success, the $2 million Hartley Foundation grant and plans to expand pilot trials. Margaret listened, pride lighting her eyes. "Who would have thought a mountain girl could harness AI for farming," she said, smiling. Sebastian ladled soup and teased, "Nothing beats your home cooking, Mrs. Sinclair, no AA can top that." Margaret chuckled, and the meal felt like a warm embrace for both worlds. After lunch, they stepped into the back garden where Eva once picked wild berries. Sebastian gently took Eva's hand. "There's something I haven't told you, or your mother, yet." Eva paused, a berry at her lips, and looked curiously at him. He drew a slow breath. "When I was young, my family went through a huge setback. My father lost nearly everything in a tech deal gone wrong. He traveled across Europe to save the company, and my mother fell ill from the stress. I know what it feels like to be judged for your origins. Just as you've faced dismissals for coming from a small town." Eva's heart clenched. She had never heard of any financial trouble in the Caldwell lineage. You lost everything?" Sebastian nodded, eyes shining. "I almost lost faith in business, and in myself. But that struggle made me determined to prove my worth on merit, not name. Just like you left the mountains to conquer technology. I want you to know pedigree doesn't define us, our resilience does." Margaret, eavesdropping nearby, stepped forward. Placing a hand on Sebastian's shoulder, she said, "You've been through hardship, too. My daughter tells me you're the best man she's ever known." Sebastian bowed his head, moved. "Thank you, Mrs. Sinclair. I'll do my best to honor your trust." Margaret glanced at Eva with satisfaction. "You chose well, my child. Now you two go on and build your future together." As golden light bathed the distant peaks, Eva leaned into Sebastian's shoulder, sharing the warmth of two worlds united. Here, in her childhood home, love and ambition intertwined, stronger than ever. At 6 o'clock on a still, quiet New York morning, Eva Sinclair and Sebastian Caldwell drove into the Hartley International headquarters after a week-long trip to Colorado. During the drive, they'd hashed out every detail of their expanded pilot phase, deploying AI technology at 5 more farms, 2 in the US, 1 in Canada, and 2 in the Netherlands, all to set the stage for the AgriTech Accelerator's global launch next month. Stepping into the tower, Eva was immediately bombarded by data streams, sensor quality reports flooding in, unusual European weather metrics, and alerts of rising data latency. She sat at her desk, opened her laptop, and began parsing error logs from the Amsterdam Labs server. Meanwhile, Sebastian was already on the phone with Hartley Foundation's legal team, finalizing launch contracts, confidentiality clauses, and IP agreements. Latency at the 2 Dutch sites is up over 20 minutes, fix it now, Sebastian said into the handset. We can't launch with those numbers. Eva nodded, fingers flying. I'm tweaking the buffering algorithm and adjusting sampling frequency. If all goes well, latency should drop to 8 to 10 minutes, still within our acceptable window. In the Glass Suite conference room, Dr. Maya Lin, Josh Carter, and Priya Sharma looked on as Eva stood to present her technical plan. We'll install additional relay nodes at our European distribution hub, Eva explained, bringing up network topology slides. That will cut transmission paths in half and reduce latency by about 50%, while preserving data consistency. Josh broke into a grin, brilliant. We'll schedule the deployment tomorrow, Ops will support it. Sebastian's eyes gleamed with pride. Thanks, team. Remember, this launch will be live-streamed to over 30 countries. Zero tolerance for glitches. Not everyone was convinced. Marcus Fields, an IoT engineer resentful of Eva's rise, challenged her in front of the group. We're pouring hundreds of thousands into European infrastructure, while our home farmers still struggle to adopt this tech. Priya shot back, Marcus, the point of this final phase is to prove global scalability, not just serve our core users. Without showcasing adaptability in 2 new markets, we won't have the clout for our Series B. Marcus folded his papers, sneered at Eva, and stalked out. The tension lingered, until Sebastian gently patted Eva's shoulder. You handled that well. What matters is proving value at any scale. Eva exhaled, determination shining in her eyes. I know. To succeed, we must succeed everywhere. On the last day before launch, all 4 regional labs ran a continuous 48-hour test. By 11 p.m., the Dutch buffers had stabilized, latency down from 20 to 7 minutes. Yield analytics, soil quality readings, and weather alerts were streaming in real time with 95% accuracy. Maya cheered, amazing work. You've shown true elite caliber. Josh laughed, it's like acing the final exam. Priya hugged Eva, tomorrow, we make history. Sebastian entered, fatigue in his eyes but an all-consuming joy on his face. Thank you, Eva. None of this runs without you. He bent and kissed her on the forehead. I know tomorrow the world will listen. The next morning, a glass-walled auditorium, aligned with the Empire State Building skyline, filled with thousands of guests, press, investors, and government reps from around the globe. Gigantic LED screens displayed the AgriTech Accelerator logo alongside aerial shots of farms from the Rockies to the Low Countries. Sebastian took the stage first to introduce the project, then Eva entered to thunderous applause. She confidently traced their journey, from misty Colorado peaks to European fields, and demonstrated the 95% real-time data updates. The audience watched, riveted. During Q&A, reporters asked about Africa and Latin America. Eva answered crisply. We've partnered with NGOs to pilot in Kenya, where early results show a 10% yield boost and 12% cost savings. At events close, Vivian Hartley, chair of the foundation, presented them with the Global Innovation Award. This project exemplifies passion and partnership overcoming any barrier. As Eva and Sebastian embraced on stage, cameras flashing, the crowd erupted. Technology and love can shine together. Later, in a quiet corridor, Eva read the headline on her phone, pride swelling. Pulling Sebastian aside, she whispered, "Thank you for always being beside me. I couldn't have done this alone." He kissed her forehead and replied, "And I'll never let you face it alone. From now on, we write this story together." Through the soaring windows, New York's sunset bathed them in gold, the perfect close to a chapter where ambition and affection now stood united. After the resounding success of their global launch, Eva and Sebastian stole away for a few sweet retreat days before plunging back into their packed work schedules. On Monday, Eva was back at Columbia University delivering 2 guest lectures on applying AI to sustainable agriculture, while Sebastian chaired a Hartley International Board meeting to discuss expansion into Latin America and Africa. That morning, Eva spoke passionately to 200 students. That afternoon, she pitched Kenya pilot data to an angel investment group in Silicon Valley. Meanwhile, Sebastian toggled between financial slide decks and KPI reports, every so often glimpsing Eva's lecture on his office livestream and smiling. Their only conversations came in brief car calls. "Sebastian, drink plenty of water, okay? R&D meeting at 3 p.m. Eva, you remember to eat lunch, and we'll talk again tonight?" Sweet words, but both knew their calendars were filled to the brim. Beyond project work, the power couple was invited onto tech podcasts, in-depth media interviews, even a men's fashion magazine that wanted Sebastian for its CEO-style cover. From Colorado, Mrs. Sinclair cautioned Eva to vet invitations carefully to avoid clickbait, while Mr. Hartley advised his son, "Keep our family image about innovation, not showbiz." Headlines like "From Mountain Town to Penthouse, Eva and Sebastian's AI love story" forced Eva to quietly remind colleagues, "The project remains our priority, any celebrity stuff is secondary." Sebastian agreed, though his eyes clouded at how little time they spent together. That weekend, Sebastian was whisked to London for a global trade conference just as Eva had a female founder workshop in Boston. No overlap, no chance to reunite in New York. Before boarding, Eva curated a playlist of their favorite songs and messaged him, "Play this for me, miss you." He replied with a video of Manhattan's sunset from his office, whispering, "I miss you just as much." Yet the tide of deadlines and data never ebbed, pulling them into their separate worlds. Late Saturday night, after 48 hours of non-stop travel, Sebastian returned to New York knowing Eva needed respite. Without a word, he went straight to Everleaf Book Cafe, their first post-demo date spot. Under warm amber lights, the scent of old books and roasted coffee, he reserved their familiar corner, complete with the ever-present copy of The Old Man and the Sea, and ordered her favorite matcha latte and apricot butter scone. When Eva arrived, tired yet radiant, he rose and enveloped her in a long, silent hug to Billie Holiday's soft jazz. No words were needed, the embrace soothed every stress. He finally spoke, smile in his voice, "I know you've been busy. I just wanted us to have our own little haven." Tears shining in her eyes, she whispered, "I don't know what to say. Thank you." In that glow, they silently vowed, no matter how relentless their careers, their love would survive through these treasured moments. Sebastian slid a folded note across the table. Date: one work-free evening together each week, just you and me. SC. Eva beamed, voice trembling, "You always know how to make me happy." In a city that never sleeps, 2 hearts found stillness, not in boardrooms or screens, but in promises and quiet corners, walking forward together, guardians of both ambition and affection. 3 months after their global debut, Eva and Sebastian received thrilling news. The Global Tech Summit's Social Impact Award had chosen AgriTech Accelerator for improving livelihoods with AI. Eva was lecturing at Columbia when an email arrived. Sebastian got the same message from Dr. Maya Lin, congratulating them and inviting them to next week's ceremony in São Paulo. This honor opened doors to Latin America and Africa, regions where AI could transform millions of smallholders' lives. A week later, they stood amid São Paulo's vibrant conference booths, meeting AgriTech innovators from Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and beyond. On stage at the Grand Plaza, event chair Mariana Alves lauded them. "Your AI solution has reduced poverty and increased incomes for thousands of farmers. It is our privilege to award you this year's Social Impact Award." As they received crystal trophies to thunderous applause, Eva and Sebastian felt both pride and a thirst for more. Their journey was only beginning. Back in New York, the team immediately scheduled a Nairobi trip with Dr. Kamau of the Kenyan Sustainable Agriculture Alliance. He explained the challenges: erratic weather, weak networks, and the need for offline-capable models. Eva proposed an edge computing app that runs locally on smartphones and syncs when connectivity returns. Priya added, "We'll also localize the interface in Swahili and French." In Kisumu, near Lake Victoria, harsh realities struck. Sensors drained in the heat, 3G networks faltered, and some farmers hesitated to hand their phones to strangers. Amid heated debate, Marcus demanding immediate 4G transfers, the driver pointing out only community Wi-Fi was available, Eva stepped in. "We'll adapt, buffer data for 10 to 15 minutes, maintaining under 5% error." They improvised solar-powered battery packs and taught farmers hands-on. Seeing a smiling farmer pose for a selfie in her maize field brought the greatest reward. Over 2 challenging weeks, the Kenya pilot stabilized, and their bond deepened, with Sebastian offering water breaks, shade, and encouragement. "One orange sunset on the lake," he murmured, "seeing their smiles only confirms we're on the right path." Eva leaned on his shoulder, "I believe our passion and love can spread hope worldwide." Returning to New York, they presented a $10 million Series B proposal, plans for 10 new countries, to the Hartley Foundation. In a small press briefing, Vivian Hartley announced her support for the round plus legal and logistical backing. Amid warm congratulations, Eva squeezed Sebastian's hand. "This step changes lives. Thank you for sharing it with me." He kissed her palm. "We'll never stop. I believe in us." Under New York's glittering skyline, 2 innovators and lovers committed to a future where technology uplifts communities, and their own dreams soared even higher. At dawn on the 42nd floor of Hartley International, the core team assembled for day 1 of their Series B fundraising push, raising $10 million to expand into 10 more nations. Sebastian reported, "We've secured $4.5 million from 3 major VCs. We need $5.5 million more." Tonight's final pitch will include Dr. Kamau and Mrs. Hartley. Eva reviewed her slides on Kenyan pilot results, plus rollout plans for Brazil, India, and Indonesia, adding a 20% carbon reduction target by 2027 to appeal to ESG funds. Maya promised worst-case scenarios for policy shifts, while Josh and Priya reinforced their data audit plan. All seemed perfect, until Marcus Fields, ousted from the core team to Colorado Logistics, watched via security feeds. Harboring jealousy, he schemed to sabotage the pitch. As Eva and Sebastian walked into the room, Sebastian's phone buzzed, an email from Eco Agri Corp, fresh off a $50 million Series A, read, "Dear Mr. Caldwell, we congratulate your success but note that Eco Agri's own pilots in Southeast Asia achieve 96% accuracy. We trust you'll lead with community focus, not market dominance. Sincerely, Victor Hayes, CEO." Sebastian's jaw tightened. Victor Hayes is an industry heavyweight. Their 96% stat, PR or real, it could sway our investors. Eva's smile faltered. If they leak that before our pitch, it dents our credibility. Sebastian assured her, we have live data and farmer testimonials. Let them compare actual results. At lunchtime, Marcus covertly triggered a DDoS attack on their public data portal, replacing headers with corrupted metadata and silencing their transparency showcase. Panic rippled through the office. Sebastian charged over, fix it now. Eva needs that portal up 5 minutes before we go live. Josh diagnosed spoofing and DDoS, Maya gasped, Marcus? Sebastian nodded grimly, use Columbia's backup server. Eva, I'll own up to it, transparency is our strength. Just then, Victor Hayes called. Sebastian, I hear you're under attack. Agri can share our CDN bandwidth for free to stabilize your stream. We want the industry's reputation intact. Sebastian seized the olive branch. Thank you, Victor, I appreciate your support. Turning to Eva, he said, let's accept. We'll credit Agri for their help and highlight that cooperation over competition. At 5 p.m., the room brimmed with press and investors. A backup link load on screen, streaming flawlessly via Agri's CDN. Eva took the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, during our data publication prep, we faced a coordinated DDoS attack. Thanks to Agri Core's timely support and our IT partners, we restored access on backup servers. You're looking at our full 10-farm pilot report, live, transparent, and unfiltered. Silence fell, then applause rose as investors scrolled verified datasets and charts on their phones. During the Q&A, Mrs. Hartley praised their candor. Integrity under fire is rare. Hartley Foundation will add $3 million to your round, plus $2 million from our ESG partners. Agri, we salute your collaborative spirit. On stage, Sebastian embraced Eva while Victor Hayes stepped forward to shake their hands. Congratulations, here's to a stronger industry. Behind the curtain, Marcus seethed, even my sabotage couldn't stop them. That night, as New York glittered below, Eva and Sebastian left together, hearts light. Eva whispered, we weathered our biggest storm. He kissed her hair, and whatever comes next, we face it side by side. 2 years after founding AgriTech Accelerator, a gala at the Plaza Ballroom in New York brought together families, investors, and the very farmers who had joined their journey. A highlight video traced Eva's mountaintop departure, the first New York demo with Sebastian, countless crisis nights, and far-flung field trips, from Colorado ridges to Kenyan shores. Margaret Sinclair, voice trembling with pride, recalled her daughter's leap onto that bus, now an inspiration for thousands of students. Henry Hartley, smiling more genuinely than ever, admitted his past reservations and declared Eva a daughter of the Hartley family. Amid applause, he announced the Next-Gen AgriTech Fund, $5 million to empower student innovators in sustainable agriculture. When Vivian Hartley presented Eva and Sebastian with their visionary leaders, 2 years of impact awards, the crowd cheered their relentless drive. As the ballroom emptied, Sebastian led Eva to a small raised platform. There, on bended knee, he offered a custom engraved ring and proposed. Eva Sinclair, you've shown me the power of passion and perseverance. Before our family, friends, and colleagues, will you marry me? Through tears of joy, Eva nodded, yes, 1,000 times yes. 1 summer later, their wedding took place in the Hartley Glass Atrium, sunlight streaming through its lattice of panes onto lush greenery and fresh blooms. Eva walked down the aisle to Pachelbel's Canon in D, holding a bouquet of baby's breath and lavender, symbols of faith and hope, while Sebastian, in a black tuxedo trimmed with royal blue, awaited her. Exchanging "Together We Grow" rings, they pledged a lifetime of partnership in both love and innovation. Marcus Fields, once an adversary, stood among the guests, applauding their union. Eva touched Sebastian's lapel in a moment of quiet joy. "You are my partner in life and in mission." He smiled, eyes shining. True innovation isn't just about technology or legacy, it's about love, resilience, and the courage to grow together. Under the atrium's golden light, they shared their first dance as husband and wife, two hearts and one vision, forever united.